Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. So glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. It's time for your listener questions, and Pam Forrester is just back from the Cool Kids Summer Media event. We kick off the show by talking about her thoughts on the new Little Mermaid show and the Villain show over at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and some of the other events like the character meet and greets at the resorts and the Goofy Communicore Takeover at Epcot and how much fun that's going to be this summer. And then we tackle some great questions about finding Stitch around Walt Disney World this summer, club level experiences at the Disneyland resorts, the hotels out there, a Halloween/Christmas trip for 2026, the logistics of putting that together, and much more on today's show. Don't forget our podcast, always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. Just click through that link. It's one extra click and it supports our show so very much. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. We've got some new folks joining us this week, and I thank you so very much for that. You can support us as well. It's just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd love to have you. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Welcome to episode 2703 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from beourguestpodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having a rockin' week. We're so glad you're here with us as we answer your listener questions on a Wednesday. Don't know how many times we've done that over the years, but we're in our 18th year of podcasting. So glad you're here with us. We're going to have a good time bouncing around, talking a little Walt Disney World, a little Disneyland, maybe some Disney Cruise Line. But either way, it's going to be a fun 40 or so minutes just talking about our favorite things, favorite places, and with my favorite people. Joining me today, we have Pam Forrester, co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel, who I am super excited because it has been way too long. Get to see her today. And rumor has it, it's Steakhouse 71, baby. Let's go. Pam Forrester, happy Wednesday. What's up?
I know. Not only do you get to see me like this, but you get to see me in person soon.
Over a Steakhouse 71 that steak burger thing. Let's go.
Oh, so good. So good. But anyways, yes, I know. I'm excited. We're smack dab in the middle of it. I'm finally back home after doing 8 million different things. The media event for Disneyland 70th, which was fantastic. And then You Preferred conference for Universal. And then another media event for Cool Kid Summer. Cool Kid Summer, not kids. Kid. Cool Kid Summer.
Yes, I actually did do some research on that about 2 or 3 weeks ago to look at it because I was doing a hashtag and I want to make sure I got it right so that it picked it up. And Cool Kid. So
Cool Kid.
You can only have one. If you have multiple kids, too bad. You're out this summer. That'll be next summer.
Well, each of them can be cool individually. They cannot be cool together.
Exactly. Dude.
Plurally.
Separate.
Separated. And I had the chance to see the new Little Mermaid show, and Jodie Benson was there to introduce it to us.
That's pretty sweet.
And then got to see the new Villain show too at Hollywood Studios, all part of Cool Kid Summer.
So, I mean, because we've kind of talked Cool Kids Summer. We're going to be down there this week, kind of going around doing some fun stuff. So follow us. We're going to do some lives over on the Magic for Less Facebook page. We're going to be on, I'm going to do some streaming here on our YouTube channel for the podcast and also on my Instagram. So just follow all the socials that you normally would. We'll be talking about it here on the podcast when we get back next week. We'll have lots of coverage here as well. But give us a little nutshell. You got to do some of those things. A lot of our friends here on the podcast are going down this summer. Get them amped up. So what did you think? Especially, let's talk studios. Those two new shows. I mean, Little Mermaid. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm more excited for Little Mermaid than I am the Villain show, just because Paige's favorite movie growing up was Little Mermaid. You do not know how many times I watch it movie with her. I mean, Ariel was her princess, and I love the old show. And it sat there empty for, it seems like, a decade at this point.
I know, it was so long. And it actually, I remember taking Hian when she was little. It was actually one of the ones that she was sort of afraid of, because it got really dark, in the beginning, right?
With
that
the rain,
whole thing.
Kind of water and rain. Well,
yes.
It wasn't rain, you're under the water, whatever.
Yes. But I will say, I really enjoyed the show. They added some special effects that I thought really sort of completed that whole thing for me, really enhanced the storytelling. I think they sort of took some parts of it out that were confusing, brought a little bit more storytelling in to make it, more comprehensive, maybe for those who didn't know the story. I think we had seen the movie so often that, I knew what was happening and whatnot, but I think people who might not have known the story quite as well might have been a little confused at different points. The Ursula puppet or whatever she is fantastic. And she was before too, but yes, she's even better than before.
I mean, she brings the sass, she brings the attitude to the
yes.
show. She brings the heat.
Yes, and her movements are very fluid and, lots of stuff. There's lots of great characters, represented well. I thought they really did a good job. I will say, one of the things I was most impressed with was that Eric's hair looks a lot better.
That's what a decade will do. I mean, back then, hairstyles change in a decade.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They didn't have all the products that they have now, the whole thing.
So we're building up in 3 or 4 years. We'll have Villains Land over in the Magic Kingdom, obviously. I mean, they've really started moving the dirt on that, but they're, getting parking lots in place and, backstage areas prepping for this. So it's in the very preliminary stages. We're going to have a whole Villains Land, but now we have a Villains show over at the studios. So first impressions of this. I'm not hearing as great of things. People are being blown away by The Little Mermaid. I mean, I'm only hearing positives on this. I'll be honest. I'm hearing kind of positives and negatives on this show online.
So here's who I think will really like. So we know that so many people have, this love for all the villains characters. And let's be honest, if you're going to be a Disney character, a villain is the one to be, because they have all the fun. Right?
I mean, it's like Ricky here on the podcast.
That's right. So
just kidding.
I was really impressed. I'm sort of looking back through the photos and videos that I took of it. So I think there's some great performances there that we get to see. There's some villains that are very much the stars of the show, although there's a lot of villains that get a little nod here and there. So I don't think that too many people are going to be out in the cold if they have a villain that they really like. I also was really sort of impressed on how the live characters sort of interacted with the other things going on in the theater. I think it's definitely worth, some time to go see. I think it's probably one of those things you got to see for yourself. It is very much like a musical performance. And for those of you who like Cruella or Hook or I'm trying to think of some of the other ones that were like prominent in this though. But for those who like those characters, you're really, I think, going to enjoy it. I also think that it's inside. It's air conditioned. 2 air conditioned
seats and air conditioning in Cool Kids Summer. And I mean, you were down there like when it was extremely brutally hot early. And I mean, it's just going to be this way through September. So kudos for that.
It was. And so, I think that for sure. I think it's definitely worth a look, but I was blown away more by the Little Mermaid stuff.
That's exactly
for sure.
what I was hearing. I was hearing the villain show isn't bad, but this is like people are like, oh man, but Mermaid is like awesome. Like they just
agreed
100%. I loved it. So,
and I will say one of the other standouts for me, and I'll be interested to see what you think when you see it. But so the DJ dance parties and stuff. So one of my favorites was the Goofy Core, right? They've changed that whole Communicore into Goofy is there. He has this game wheel. There's all kinds of things going on. But I think the thing that really made this for me is watching so many of the kids like have a true moment with this character. And I think what a cool thing to be a kid at this point in time, because it's how many kids like get to say, I played Limbo with Goofy, or I did the parachute thing that we all do in gym class with Goofy. Like they weren't concerned about getting a picture or an autograph or anything with him. They were just interested in like dancing around with Goofy, playing the games with Goofy, interacting like that. And I thought, oh, if that isn't just the sweetest thing. And this was the kind of stuff that I saw at, the other dance parties over at the Magic Kingdom, the same thing, whatnot. So I think just the thing that I saw that they did so well in this Cool Kid Summer, and the beauty of this is there's sort of these kind of interactive things happening at each of the 4 parks, is that kids really had their moment to not stand there, smile, and get their autograph thing. They had a moment to interact and play with the characters. And I thought that's kind of a cool idea. And I just loved it. So.
100% agree with that. And here's the thing about that Goofy Communicore takeover thing is that, and I thought I saw today on social media that somebody posted that there's a sign out there that says this area is for, basically it said, this area is for kids. Like, supervise your children, but this area is for kids like 2 to 12. Like,
yes.
Implying, this is not for the adults. Like, don't go in there and ruin this moment for the kids. Like, leave this for the kids. And I've heard people say online, some people, that this is, they're taking this, they're just making this, this area dance party for the summer. You know what? This isn't going to be for everybody. This isn't going to be for the Disney adults, without kids. This is not going to be, not everything's going to be for you. You know what? There's going to be there's a lot of chances you can go drink. There's going to be Geo82 is your thing.
Is just
it's going to be amazing. I got your jam. The kids don't get to ever go in there, but this is going to be this is their opportunity. So everybody has their opportunities to do their things. Let's don't ruin it for the kids. Like you said, instead of just letting them walk up and get a signature and an autograph book and a quick shot, a little picture. Man, let them limbo with Goofy and let them cut the rug with Goofy and have that cool dance floor that changes colors and have those. I mean, nothing's cooler than seeing your kid get to have that moment with a Disney character. So you know what? Like not everything has to be for every person. Like that's just my biggest beef. Like it's not going to be this forever. Let it just be for the kids for a few months, and then it'll move on to the next festival and wine and dine, and it'll be another thing and then the adults can have it back. That's
not only that, but there are just increased character greeting opportunities in general. So if you are an adult that wants to spend time with the characters, you still have plenty of opportunity to do that. In fact, in Communicore, they have a whole character greeting location that is a great opportunity for that. But I saw more characters at the resorts than I've seen in a while. And they've been doing this for a bit. Like the characters show up and they're there at your resort. I think that there's always been great reasons to stay at a Disney World resort. I mean, we talk about that on the podcast all the time. We aren't shy about saying we think that you should be staying on site. I think that there's just this, first of all, intangible feeling of being surrounded by Disney stuff 24/7, but there's all these other benefits, and the characters showing up there has been a big one lately. I really enjoy that, and I think it's just kind of a cool way to have less crowds as you're waiting there for the characters. So
I agree. And Clay over on Instagram says he loved the villain show. He said it was much better than Lightning McQueen, which that's because I like the Lightning McQueen show. Ka-chow.
I did too. I did too.
Cute. So that's a good endorsement there. And Ash Britt over on Instagram says, which recent episodes might you recommend for someone out of the Disney loop for a year? She had a baby in December. Congratulations to you.
Congratulations.
She wants to take advantage of the kids' discount at Walt Disney World this summer. I would say just look shows over the past, a little bit, and you can search. If you go to brguestpodcast.podbean.com, there's a search box. And if you type in keywords like summer or kids, that's keyword. If there's anything in the title, you can pick up that way. But
yep.
Yeah, just kind of scan through the titles that way. It's a good way to go. All right, we have a question here. I think it's a good one for you, Pam, because it is about, let me find the thing. Too many windows here. Hey, BOGP crew, this is from Danielle. And she says, my 8-year-old daughter is absolutely obsessed with Stitch. You might be in trouble.
It's a good time to be a Stitch fan.
I'm saying. And 8-year-old daughter obsessed with Stitch. Hello, be careful. I noticed Disneyland has a bunch of Stitch-themed snacks and treats. Does Disney World offer anything like that? I've heard you can meet Stitch in Tomorrowland or at Ohana for breakfast. But are there any other spots around Disney World for fun Stitch merch or hidden Stitch finds? Thank you, Danielle. Also, what did everybody think of the live Lilo and Stitch movie? I haven't seen it. You haven't seen it yet, have you?
I haven't, but I was just talking with Juanita, our training coordinator, today, and she saw it with her family, and she said they loved it. So.
And it's getting rave reviews at the Be Our Guest Podcast Clubhouse live Disney movies and TV channel. We always talk about that, but there's no spoilers. We have like a spoiler curtain where you can go in there, but you won't see the spoilers unless you click on it on purpose. And everybody's talking about it, and it's getting rave reviews. I mean, it's getting rave reviews everywhere. Disney's killing it with that one. Not Elio, like we were talking in the pre-show, but that one's doing great. So because you've just been at both destinations, so where are you seeing Stitch, and like where could you hook up Stitch?
Well, so the good news is, as part of Cool Kids Summer, you're going to be able to see Stitch at the Galactic Blast, and that's in Tomorrowland. So basically, it's a DJ dance party, right? But none other than Stitch shows up for that. And there were a lot of kids dancing around with Stitch during that. So that's great. The other thing was, because this is a new and popular movie, you will be able to see Stitch merchandise just about everywhere.
That's true.
So,
it's going to be everywhere.
Right?
Like every cotton candy thing will be like, this is blue. Oh, yeah, this is Stitch. No, it's actually just blue cotton candy, but it'll be Stitch cotton candy.
It is. And the interesting thing about Stitch, sometimes characters, are ones that you can find all over the place, and sometimes they're not, right? There's been movies that you hardly ever see merchandise that has that character on it. But Stitch has always been someone who holds kind of a special place in many people's heart. So we were able to interact with Stitch and see that, and we saw tons of merchandise. So you're going to be able to find Stitch for sure. Yeah,
Stitch has always been around, because I remember when Mallory was little. I mean, she was probably like 5 or something. She had to have a Stitch, like on one of our trips. It was at the end of the trip, but I don't know if you remember this, but they had this gigantic Stitch for a while. Do you remember? Like, it was huge, right? Yes. She wanted one. I was like, I was not buying her the big one. This is back when I was driving. Like, I was scared to fly still back then. And I was like, she is not getting this huge Stitch. I mean, it was obnoxiously big, and it was like $70 or something. And I was like, but I've seen the normal size, like plush Stitch, right? It was somewhere. And I didn't have it at Magic Kingdom, didn't have it at the park we were at. We went around Epcot. It was like our second to last day, couldn't find it anywhere. Man, I walked over to the boardwalk. I finally got it at the screen door at the boardwalk, but I had to walk. Like, I probably walked an extra 10 miles to find that sucker, because like I went to every store I could find, and that's like the final place I could find like the normal size Stitch, because they were just gone. And I mean, that was years ago. Like, there wasn't anything going on with Stitch, but they've always said that movie sells merch like nobody. I mean, even in that big gap between, Lilo and Stitch came out like in 2002, 2001, something like that. Like, it was a huge gap between that movie and this one, but it was still going strong. I mean, she wanted that. She didn't want the pink one. She wanted the, regular blue Stitch. And man, I was going to get it for her because she was a little girl, but I was not getting that gigantic one. I mean, but they had those everywhere. I'm like, no, you're not getting the one that's like the size of the Tasmanian devil. We're not doing that. Anyway.
Stitch has always had a big presence.
Oh, watching her, I was like, she's like, we can just get that. But I'm not getting that big one for $70. I'll walk 20 miles before I get that thing. I'm cheap.
You'll be like, that stuffed animal needs its own seat.
And and now in our storage room, we got all these plushes. I mean, we got Pluto, we got Stitch, we got them all. They're just sitting there looking at me every morning when I run that 13 miles on a treadmill. They're just all cheering me on silently. It's like, The silent, stuffy army just staring me down right there on the treadmill at 5 a.m. Just trips gone by. Like, Mike, you can do it. Anyway.
Or else.
Exactly. Daniel's got a question over the inbox. Hey there, BOGB crew. Oh, it's not Daniel, but that's who the email is. So it says, my name is Rebecca, and me and my husband will be going down to the world for a relaxed anniversary celebration in October. With it being an anniversary, I want to book a few enchanted extras. We'll be doing a split stay with 1 night at French Quarter and 4 nights at Animal Kingdom Lodge. Our tickets will be linked to our first reservation, but we don't plan on using them until our Animal Kingdom days. I'm looking to book a Starlight Safari at the lodge, as well as a Wild Africa trek. My question is, will I be able to book my enchanted extras based on the window for the first reservation or the second? Thank you for your help and love the podcast. So Pam, when can she book her enchanted extras?
So chances are you will be able to book them with your first reservation. Prepare for the worst, though, and you'll know that morning whether you can or not. It just really depends. And they make tweaks to the system all the time. That's the other thing that sort of impacts some of this. Some of these things are really keyed into your reservations and some are not. But most of those things do not sell out right then. She said she was interested in the Wild Africa trek. And what was the other one?
I just deleted it. I think it was the... I don't know. I just deleted it. Hang on, let me go to deleted emails. Deleted. I'll find it. Trash. That's what it's called. Trash. Nah, I can't find it.
All right.
Doesn't
but
matter.
Either way, most of them don't sell out like that morning. Like if you were, looking to book like the chef's table at Victoria and Albert's, then that would be a challenge. But this should probably be okay with that.
All right. Sean's here. He's tuned in on Facebook. Thanks for being here, Sean. How long do you think the new AP rate will be in place for the Magic King? Or the rule. We should talk about that actually, because we found out the new date, or the date that the parade, Starlight, right? Is that the name? I've had too many skating rinks that I've worked with in my past that have star in the name of them. Starlight is the Starlight's the parade. And it's easy date to remember, July 20th, the day that humans landed on the moon, 1969. July 20th, the parade returns to the Magic Kingdom. And after that date, AP holders will have to have a reservation, even to park hop to the Magic Kingdom. So if you're an AP holder, we still have to have park reservations. But you will have to have one to park hop into the Magic Kingdom. That's the rule that Sean is referring to in this question, I'm guessing. How long do you think the new AP rule will be in place for the Magic Kingdom? I heard you need to make a park reservation for Magic Kingdom when the new parade starts. So I guess till the shine wears off of the penny. I would say probably at least through the end of the year.
I think it's just going to be one of those things that you're just going to have to, deal with for a little bit. I think that one of the ways to really think about this is when you're, as an AP holder, when you're making reservations, I would do the Magic Kingdom. And even if you have to go there first, then hop to another park and then hop back to the Magic Kingdom to see Starlight, at least you have that reservation and you will be able to get in there. So, but yeah, we just don't have any way of knowing. I think what they're trying to do is keep, the capacity open for everyone, including AP holders. So that what tends to happen is that locals who have an annual pass bounce into the parks in the afternoon and evening, and they don't want that to bring capacity issues to the Magic Kingdom. I will be really interested to see what happens. First of all, I'm one who is very hopeful that they will have some kind of package that I can purchase that has reserved seating or viewing of some kind for this parade, because I know it's going to be very busy. We haven't had a parade in the Magic Kingdom for a while in the evening, and I'm really looking forward to this. I also think, remember when the Magic Kingdom put in, that the whole traffic flow thing that makes it so much easier to move around the hub. I think it'll be interesting to see how that impacts this as well.
Well, see, I have a question for you there. So, before that, here's the question: did we have a nighttime parade like since they redid that whole hub with the kind of multi-circles?
It all blurs together.
I can't remember if we've had one since they did that like layered circle hub kind of thing. Like,
I don't know that we have.
I don't think we have either, and I think that will definitely help the flow. But here's the thing.
Too.
It's smart that they're doing this. Like, it's a pain in the rears an AP holder because, man, there is a huge pent-up demand for this nighttime parade. Like, this is big because people have been, I'm the biggest one. Like, I love a parade and fireworks to end out a Castle Park night. Like, there's nothing better. Like, this is the way to end any night at a Disney park. It's perfect.
Yes.
Like, I used to love Wishes Spectrum Magic, or, it was just great. I mean, it was just
right.
Main Street Electrical Parade Wishes. It was just.
It would do Spectrum Magic,
kiss.
Wishes Spectrum Magic.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And I mean, it was just chef's kiss, like at a summer night. I mean, when you had nothing else, it was perfect with your family. And I mean, this, for everything we're seeing, the floats look awesome. The soundtrack that they're teasing is awesome. I mean, it is just going to. It's going to be just beautiful. I mean, it's going to bring men to tears coming down the street. I mean, it's going to be great. I mean,
it's Mike. It'll bring Mike.
But it's going to be great. I mean, it's like what we've been missing. It's going to bring the park. It's going to be that, like, it's going to bring the park to life late at night. It's going to be a reason 100%. To stay. And I totally see a lot of locals that are going to buy. I'm just talking to you, Jason and Vern, and all these people that are close by. Jay and Melissa. I mean, like, what are we doing tonight? Like, I mean, in St. Louis, like, we go to DQ. That's what we do. Dude, I'd be going to see this parade every night. I get it.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? So I understand why they're doing this. I'd be watching this show every night. So I get why they're doing it. And, I mean, this is going to be popular for years, I think. It's going to be. I think they nailed it before I've even seen it. I don't know.
I agree. That's how I feel as well. The floats, like, the the teasers that we've been getting of the floats and other things, I'm blown away. I mean, and I have been really since they announced it. And like you, Mike, I love a nighttime parade. I think that especially during the summer, this is one of the things that we want. And I think it'll really give a bounce to the summer because I think that there will be people who want to come and see this parade. And I completely understand why. I'm one of them. Like, this is an event. There's nothing better to me than, like what you said, Mike, is having a parade and then having fireworks either before or after that parade. The sun is down. You can grab some ice cream. You don't mind waiting a little bit for it, right? Yep. Like, it's the anticipation of it. The crowd sort of gets into it. People are, like, for the most part, like, kinder, gentler because they've had a great day.
Yeah, it's kind of communal, right? You kind of get your spot on the curb. You get to know your neighbors a little bit if you're hanging out. I mean, because in the thing you're going to see on social media, you can't let, this is my biggest peeve too. You can't let what you see on social media be the narrative that you believe. Because what you're going to see on social media is that, some 6'5" dude stepped in front of a kid. Yeah, that probably does happen every night at the parade. But you know what? 98% of the people are going to be kind. You know what I'm saying? Like, the kids are going to get in front. People are going to be good. And we can all take care of each other, and we're all going to get to see an awesome parade. It's going to be great. That's what I love about Disney trips. Like, that's why I like taking the bus. Like, people are, some people are like, I can't be on the bus, but like, I like talking to people on the bus. I get to be, like, I'm always on a bus with LSU fans. I swear. Like, maybe I'm down during Mardi Gras, but it's like they're the best people. When I can understand what they're saying. Like, like I feel like I'm talking to, Coach, what's his name? Not Les Miles, Ed Ogeron. I love it. Like, I'm like, it's the best. It's awesome.
It is. It's like, in so many ways, it is just like a little microcosm of culture.
It is.
It is, and it sort of brings that together. And I think you're really going to, it's like a mirror because you're going to get the kind of energy you put out there most of the time. I can't say all the time, but most of the time you will. And there's lots of opportunities to just interact with some fantastic people and to get to experience this with people you may never see again. That's the beauty of it. So yeah, it's a great opportunity. I'm so looking forward to it, and I can't wait. Like, I'm counting down. So
Yeah, that parade's gonna be sweet. It is, and it's just it leaves you happy, right? I mean, instead of just walking out of the park like, oh, we had a good day, you know, we rode a bunch of rides, but it's like it doesn't give you like the final, like, you know, like just leaves you like just dancing out of the park. But man, when you see a parade and fireworks to leave your night, like you're humming it all the way to the hotel.
Right? Earworm.
Yeah.
Earworm
100%.
song.
I still love Spectral Magic music. It's awesome. All right. And shout out to Mohawk, who's tuned in from Scotland, joining us here as we're a little bit early for him. There we go. All right. Olivia's got a question. It says, Halloween/Christmas party listener question. Hey, Mike, I love listening to the podcast and hope everyone is doing well. I have a question about the Halloween and Christmas parties. My husband and I have been thinking about taking one of my dream trips in 2026. Hitting the last Halloween party, probably Saturday, October 31st, and the first Christmas party, maybe November 6th through 7th. As a bonus, my birthday is also the first week of November. I just have to laugh because my wife has just went past the window here with a wheelbarrow. I don't know what's going on, but I that's why I'm laughing. Anyway, back to the question. It's just the two of us in our 20s, and we want to take a 9-ish day trip at a value or moderate resort. How do we anticipate booking a room, flights, and all the special event tickets with dates unannounced for another year or more? Does the timeline and pricing more or less stay the same from year to year? Are there any advantages to planning ahead? I know this is a lot of guesswork, especially a year and a half out, but I'd appreciate any insight you might have about that time of year. Thanks so much, Olivia O. So they're thinking ahead, and they want to do, I like that. They want to get kind of the last Halloween, first Christmas, birthday, trying to get it all in one trip, and I understand. So what would you say, Pam, to this?
I think that it's hard to predict is what I really think about. And what you're going to want to do is plan your trip around the party that is the most important to you. Because first of all, we don't know when the Christmas party dates for this year are.
That's true. That is true. I mean, it should be pretty soon.
It is.
Yeah, pretty soon.
So in December of in 2024, the first Christmas party was November 8th. And the last Halloween party was, I believe, the 31st. So you're butting up against your 9 nights right there. So that's something to think about in that space. If you're flexible at all, you can sort of stagger that and maybe add a day on at the beginning or the end after you know the dates. But my first thing is always going to be, as soon as you know, have a good sense of dates you want to book them. Because at different times we see resorts or room views, room types sell out. And I always want to see you stay at the resort that you really want to stay at. So that would be my best advice. So if you know that you're going to want to see the Christmas party more than the Halloween party, make sure that you're straddling, those dates. If you know that the Halloween party is more important to you, make sure, of course, that there's going to be one on October 31st. So there's that. It's just the first Christmas party is always our unknown.
Yeah, and also, and Mohawk is saying this here in the chat too, is that Halloween, because you're going for that last Halloween party, and if you're going for Halloween night, that one will sell out the quickest.
It will.
And this year, I think it sold out within 10 days of going on sale.
It did.
It went really, really quickly. So that's the one you got to have action on. So you can't hem and haw on that. It's going to also be the highest priced of all the parties, no doubt.
It is.
And this year it went for about $229 a ticket, so it's probably going to be at least that next year. So just kind of have that in mind of the pricing for that ticket. So now if you're going, and also that first ticket of the Christmas party is not going to be the lowest priced of all the Christmas party tickets. Won't be the highest priced, but it won't be the lowest. It'll probably be kind of a step up. So just have that in mind as kind of your pricing model there for next year. But yeah, I would, obviously the only thing you can book early is the room, get the package set, and then just move on the tickets quickly, especially for Halloween night. But I think that's a great plan. I like the plan.
I do too. It works for a lot of people. Just it's like the gap for a few years there. The end of the Halloween, the last Halloween party and the first Christmas party were closer.
Well, they used to do a Halloween party like November 2nd. Like they were doing that. And when I become president, that's gonna be illegal. Like no, there'd be no. Freestyle Coke machines are going to be gone. There's going to be. I'm going to French Quarter and I'm ripping that Freestyle Coke machine out. It's because I know it's still a French Quarter. Like they have them a couple places. French Quarter is one of the places they're still hanging out. That's gone over at French Quarter. It's going to be replaced by build your own beignets or something. I don't know. But we're not doing Halloween parties after the 31st.
I agree because Christmas for me starts at 12:01 on November 1st.
Yeah, dude, put it away. I mean, we've been doing it since July. I mean, come on, we're Halloween out. What are we doing?
Exactly. Right after the 4th of July.
Exactly. The bunting's been up already for 4th of July since Easter. I mean, come
100%.
on. Oh my God. Trust me, we get enough Disney with the holidays. We're good. All right. We have another question in the inbox. Christy's got a question. Thank you for your show. I hope you know how much joy it brings to others. Thank you. We appreciate that. I have a question about Disneyland's hotels, club level lounges. Well, I'm out, but Pam's here. I understand it is currently under construction and will be renamed and renovated to the High Key Club. Yes. We stayed club level one night before at the Contemporary and thoroughly enjoyed the Atrium Club. The breakfast and evening offerings were so delicious. I'm wondering how the Disneyland Club Lounge compares to the Contemporary's Atrium Club. We're taking a trip this summer to celebrate our 20th wedding anniversary, and I'm trying to decide if the quality will be worth spending the extra Mickey money. P.S. It's on my bucket list to have drinks with Pam at Trader Sam's one day. Holy cow.
I hope I get to too.
I love that.
I am in.
I love that. She wants to have drinks. You boom. Okay. So what do you know about the I just love the name, the High Key Club.
High Key
sounds
Club.
Like you got to have on like some fancy shoes to go in there or something. I
right?
don't know.
Yeah. Let me tell you, in the club level lounge, I have seen people in all manner of dress, from swimsuit to pajamas to more formal attire.
So. They would throw me out in a heartbeat, I'm telling you.
No, so actually I have stayed at all the club level at Disneyland and at Disney World. The Grand Californian is actually one of my favorite club levels. And maybe at World and Land. They're in the middle of redoing that one too, adding more to it because it really did need it. But we've just always really had a great experience there. There's an outside location for that as well. I really enjoy the Disneyland one too. I will say recently we stayed at Pixar Place. And I will be absolutely honest, it was not my favorite. I will say that. So I am hopeful that the Disneyland Hotel will stay consistent with what it used to be and also consistent with sort of what the Grand Californian offers. I find that their food offerings were good. We were fine there going for breakfast. They had options for us. Afternoon snacks are good. In the evening, they have hot and cold appetizers as well as drinks. And then also in the evening, they have a dessert time as well. So I have not heard that they plan on offering anything extra, but the only way we'll know is after it officially opens again and we get to see that. I'm anxious to see it because I think it's going to be a great addition to that hotel to have it back open again. It used to be called the E-Ticket. And I've always just really loved it. And I know so many people have a really close affinity to the Disneyland Hotel. Mike, it's your favorite, right?
Oh my gosh. Hotel. I love the retro feel of that hotel.
Yeah.
It's just perfect.
I think that's part
they
of
won't
the
let me
issue.
in the club level, I'm telling you. I mean, my key card doesn't go past level 8. It's it locks up. I get, like nope, sucker. Sorry. That's as high as you go.
I know.
You're
It's
Mike
going to
in the Midwest.
reopen this summer. So I'm hoping this summer, in Disney terms, that can either be like, May 28th or August 31st. It's a huge, range in terms of that. But the other thing that I've heard about the High Key Club is that it's going to have a really cool soundtrack, and that hopefully sort of fits in with the Disney theme, right?
I like that.
The vintage theme, the retro theme with that. So.
All right, well, enjoy it, and we'll get you a drink with Pam Forrester over at
I know, I would love that.
Trader Sam's. Trader Sam's on both coasts.
I know.
Bi-coastal
Yeah.
Pam Forrester drink. That'd be awesome. And shout out, I see one of my favorite other podcasters, Sleepy G, from the Negative Splits podcast, which I listen to every week on the treadmill, based out of Buffalo, New York. Tuned in over on Instagram. So shout out, love those guys. They get me through many miles on the treadmill. Tuned in over on Instagram. Love to see them tuned in. So, and also my favorite other travel agent, Ben Lappin, tuned in. Love to. I get to see him as the show comes out today. Over a burger at Steakhouse 71. So that'd be awesome.
Yes.
All right, we're going to wrap this up, and we're going to be back on Friday. Speaking of dining at Walt Disney World, we're going to talk about outside dining, or not outside dining, but dining in the summer at Walt Disney World. So
Probably not outside.
well, you know what, though? There are some places where you might catch some shade and a breeze. You know,
Okay,
I
I'll
mean,
give that
you know
to
what?
you.
Olivia's is not a bad place to dine outside in the summer. If you at night, like 8:30, like it's got to be a late dining reservation, right? Probably don't want to do it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know.
No.
Maybe we'll talk about it, because there's like, do you want to eat meatloaf at 4 o'clock in the evening, like in the blazing sun? No, at Walt Disney World, dude, that's death. I mean, come on now. Don't do that. But I have, like, I guess I'll save it for Friday. Should I? Like, I remember back when I was on the dining plan, dude, I went to 50s prime time, like at 4 o'clock, and just ate everything. And then, like, we had a fast pass for Tower of Terror. Like, it was bad.
Were you
bad.
ill?
Well, you had to get your money's worth, right? I mean,
No. Money's worth is
this is when I was
enjoying
dumb.
it,
Like,
not
this is way
necessarily jamming
this
it
was
all
20
in.
years ago. This was before the podcast, and it was all about, like, I was dumb and young, and like had to get my money's worth, and like, this back in the days where everybody got their own appetizer, everybody got their own entree,
Oh,
the tip was
man.
included. We're on the dining plan.
You're making me feel a
Dude,
little ill.
And then
just
I think we
hearing
had because that was back when you could bank your fast passes, right? Back in the paper fast pass days. So I think we had
Yes.
Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror right after 50s prime time, and I think I chugged a shake on the way down. Oh my God, what was I doing? This self-abuse is no excuse, Mike Rallman. Oh. Anyway, we're not talking about that on Friday. That was bad. We're going to talk about the good. So come on back. All right, we're jumping out of here. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Be tuned in live to all the social medias outlet, the Magic for Less Facebook page, my Instagram at BRGuestMike, all the places, all the socials. We're going to be taking you all around Walt Disney World over the next few days. So don't forget, show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your cool kid, singular, summer, just so you're in the know. Having a great time down at Walt Disney World this summer, but also awesome Disney cruises, Disneyland trips, even Adventures by Disney to see the world. Swing by the website, themagicforless.com today, and we'll help you out. No additional cost. It's absolutely free to you. So check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you to our Patreon supporters. You guys keep us going. So a huge thank you for that. You're our all-stars. You can support us just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd love to have you at patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Join us in the clubhouse. That's where the conversation never ends. It's 24/7, 365. We'll be having live updates over there as well throughout the time. So it's beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. And we'll have our live call-in show this Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Give us a call. Scott and I will be on the air. You'll be on the show as well. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. So join us there. And finally, the social medias at BRGuestMike for myself, X.com, Instagram, and Threads. And Pam is at TMFLTPam. So give her a follow there. All right, we're going to be back on Friday. Scotty G is joining us because I see him ready to join us right now. We're going to have a good time. So until we get back together, for Pam Forrester, I'm Mike Rallman. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.